Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole, and today we'll be having a look at an excellent 7-race card from Fanny Bay this coming Saturday, the 16th of June, which is QBE Cup Day. Prior to that, we'll have a chat with visiting Murray Bridge-based trainer Heather Lehman, who along with her husband Graham are regular visitors to this top-end carnival. Heather lined up some 6 runners a week ago and had a day to remember with a win with More Alpha, a second, a third and a 4th placing. This Saturday, Heather has 4 runners engaged, and we'll hear from her now about their chances. Heather, you have a couple of entrants in the 0 to 58 1200, race 2 on the card, in Alpha Mint and Moody Miss.
That's correct. Alpha Mint had her first run last Saturday, probably ran a super race, looking for 1200. I'm pretty happy with the way she's pulled up, and Moody Miss, she's a little horse that tends to find a little bit of trouble, but she's improving on every run, and I think she'll go well as well.
The interestingly named Alpha Choo Choo is your representative in the 5th, the 2nd division of the Maiden 1100.
Yeah, she came with that name. She's actually a half-sister to Alpha Mint, and Alpha Mint's nickname is Minty, and when we got the next one, well, what are we going to call this one as a stable name? So we called it Chewy. So that's how we got the Alpha Choo Choo. But she's actually settled in super, done everything right, had a nice trial. She got barrier 1, so I'm not probably... anyway, we'll see, but I'm happy with her.
And completing your quartet of runners is Fritz and Sauce in the last on the card, the 0 to 58 1600 metres.
Fritz and Sauce is a bit of a handful of a horse, just very lively and a lot of energy. I think the mile will suit her, and probably even further. Definitely not a sprinter, so her first 2 starts was good, gave her a good look at the track. She did everything right, but looking for more ground.
With the Maiden 1100 being divided, we have 7 races carded on Saturday, starting with the 0 to 70 1300, in which I'm tipping 4, 1, 6 and 2. It's the 0 to 70 1300, as we mentioned, the Arthur J. Gallagher Brokers Handicap, and I've got number 4 on top, Sacambaya, from the stable of Dick Leach. This horse has had a freshen up since a very, very good carnival in Alice Springs. It was a last start 3rd on Alice Springs Cup Day in the big fillies and mares race behind Harmonium Bells. And Brendan Sweeney, great to see Brendan back riding. He takes the mount, and I've got the mare on top. Ahead of number 1, Cadman. Just forget he went round last time, got back in the run, doing his best work over the concluding stages, and I think the 1300 metres will suit him. In for 3rd, number 6, and that's Woogie. Another decent run last time from her. She's an enigmatic mare, as we know, and on her day she's capable of winning this. And in for 4th, number 2, the fresh runner Murphy. 4, 1, 6 and 2 in the first. The second's the Marsh Handicap. It's for 0 to 58 gallopers, and it's over the 1200 metres. My numbers here, 9, 1, 4 and 12. I'm going with the Lehman-trained Alpha Mint. I liked its run last week for 3rd. That was behind Puzzled Princess, who's really firing well for Tayan Holter. Kayla Cross takes the mount on Alpha Mint this week, and I think over this trip and in this grade, she will be very hard to beat Alpha Mint. In for 2nd, number 1, Choice Approach from the stable of Bob Richard. Bob's having a good run just of late, as is his jockey Felicia Bergstrom. And Choice Approach, good run the other day at Adelaide River on the grass behind the Smart Neat Feet, and that's good enough for the horse to go a very good race in this. In for 3rd, number 4, God Forbid from the Kerry Petrick stable. Paul Denton aboard, racing consistently, doesn't win out of turn, but gets another ideal opportunity here. And in for 4th, number 12, Moody Miss. Those numbers 9, 1, 4 and 12. The 3rd on Saturday, the Aon Risk Solutions Handicap. It's for the 0 to 64 gallopers. It's over the 1100 metres. My numbers here, 4, 5, 1 and 2. We're going for number 4 on top here, the Carl Spry trained and not to be ridden, actually the Carl Spry trained Mavericks, to be ridden by Kim Gladwin. The horse won last time out with Kim in the saddle, and Carl's elected to leave Gladdy in the saddle. Good on him for doing so. Maverick's consistent galloper, of course, won the Guineas here as a 3-year-old some 3 or 4 years ago, but never goes a bad race, and in the 0 to 64 grade, he'll be hard to beat again. So 4 on top for me, ahead of number 5, Hot Demand, from the stable of Mark Nyan and Alice Springs. Ray Viger aboard. Good to see Ray ride a winner last week. He's starting to hit his straps as the carnival approaches. Hot Demand's been racing consistently in Alice, and maybe the change of scenery to Darwin will work the oracle for this horse. In for 3rd, the newcomer, number 1, Zap. It's a 3-year-old gelding by Star Witness, trained by Dick Leach. Jason Lyon aboard, has pretty good form lines to recommend. First run on the track, the only question mark. And in for 4th, number 2, Tuscarora. Those numbers, 4, 5, 1 and 2. The fourth is the first division of the maiden. It's over the 1100 metres. It's the AFA Insurance Brokers Maiden. My numbers here 1, 5, 2 and 9. We're going with number 1, Bartender Man. Absolutely deserves to win a race. If it was 1200 or 1300 metres, I'd say it was a certainty. The 1100 metres, the only question mark, but he'll be rocketing home over the concluding stages in the hands of Felicia Bergstrand for trainer Cherie Lawler. In for second, the Merv Rumble trained Hill Figure comes here with some pretty good form lines, also trialled well just a week or so ago. Carl Spry takes the mount. In for third, number 2, From Fifth. I like the way this horse trialled recently, trained these days by Phil Cole, Brendan Sweeney aboard. And in for fourth, number 9, Miss Donatella. I think there's some improvement there. 1, 5, 2 and 9. In the fifth, it's the Holdfast Insurance Brokers. It's the second division of the maiden over the 1100 metres. The numbers 2, 7, 4 and 6. 2 on top for me, Preemptive, a visitor from Victoria in the Paul and Tracy Templeton stable. This horse has had 7 seconds and 6 third placings from some 32 starts. It's won about 90,000 in stakes, but still a maiden. Hopefully the change of scenery up here will get that maiden win under the belt for number 2, Preemptive. In for second, number 7, Tristorf from the Greg Connor stable. And Paul Shires aboard. Didn't mind its run last time out in Alice Springs on Pioneer Sprint Saturday. Ran third on that occasion. In for third, the Dick Leach newcomer, Hildesvini. Jason Lyon aboard, third at the Sunshine Coast last time out. Looks handy form for a race like this. And in for fourth, number 6, Time Ruler. Those numbers 2, 7, 4 and 6. The big one of the day, race 6, the QBE Cup. It's for the open class gallopers over 1200 metres and an excellent field assembled here. 10 runners and a really tough one to work out. I'm going with 6, 1, 5 and 7. Number 6 on top for me, Neuschwanstein. Bit of a mouthful for our commentator, Craig Sant, but doesn't stop this horse galloping. Very good win last time out over Canon Diablo. That was on the 26th of May. Felicia Bergstrand was aboard then. She retains the mount today, or rather on Saturday, for Cherie Lawler. And just like the way this horse is going, dropping back in trip, probably the only question mark, but just like its chances on Saturday. In for second, number 1, Neat Feet. He's an old marvel. He won his 4th race at Adelaide River just the other week, and his form is exemplary. Brendan Davis for Gary Clark. He's got to give quite a bit of weight to Neuschwanstein. That's the only reason I'm putting the other horse on top. In for third, number 5, Jackanory. Comes off a great campaign in the Alice. Second last time out in the Pioneer Sprint. And Jason Lyon aboard. He's had a little freshen up and he's a quality galloper. And in for fourth, number 7, Be Disguise. 6, 1, 5 and 7 in the QBE Cup. And in the last on what's going to be a great card of racing on Saturday, the MGA Insurance Brokers for the 0 to 58 gallopers over the 1600 metres. And one of the better bets on the program, I think, is number 1, I Am the Fox. My numbers 1, 3, 7 and 2. This horse finished 4th on just last Saturday behind Senior Council in basically an open race, a benchmark 76. Drops way back in grade to the 0 to 58. Jason Lyon could be in for a decent day. He takes them out for Craig Conran, and I can see this horse storming home over the 1600 metres, at which he won 3 starts back. In for second, number 3, Wicked Rhythm for Phil Cole. Felicia Bergstrand, good run last week for third to More Alpha. That's good enough form for this horse to race really well again. In for third, number 7, Dale Hill. Was a winner at Alice over 1600 metres, and then last time out second to Mervet over 1300. The step back to the mile should suit. And in for fourth, number 2, Ominous Warning. Didn't mind its run last week. 1, 3, 7 and 2 in the last. The best bet in Darwin this Saturday comes up in race 3, number 4, Mavericks. Race 3, number 4, Mavericks for Carl Spry, trainer, and Kim Gladwin, jockey. With the best roughie on the day comes up in the 5th. I like number 5, Power Stretcher, trained by Chris Pollard. Race 5, number 5, Power Stretcher. That wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk, but we'll be back again next week in advance of the Burnborough Club Cup race day. That's a bit of a mouthful, the old Burnborough Club on the 23rd of June. In the meantime, good luck and good punting.